Hello, let's do Netflix puzzled Starstruck for March 6th. Today we're going to do the easy then the hard. The easy is called Mini Mushroom. The way we play this game is in each row, each column, and each colored region, we're placing exactly one star. Stars also can't touch, not even diagonally. So if I put a star here and a star here, that would break the rules because they're touching. All right, so to get started on this, there's a few things I see. But I think the first thing I'd do is we have this red region and blue region lining up. What do I mean by lining up? This is a very important technique to learn if you don't know it. So below this red line, I know I have exactly two stars. Why is that? Well, there's two rows, and each row has exactly one star each. So there's going to be two stars total below the red line, no more, no less. Now, I do know that this red region here will definitely have a star in it because every region has a star, and it's completely below the red line. This blue region also will have a star completely below the red line. That's what I mean by them lining up. So if the red region and blue region both have a star below the red line, we can't have another star below the red line. So if you're not blue or red, you don't get a star below that line. So you can kind of just see these two line up, and we can just get rid of all those. Now, orange is only ever going to put a star in the leftmost column now, which means that these aren't in. But also, this cell here touches all three of the oranges. So because it touches them, wherever the orange gets a star, which it will eliminate from this one. So we can say it's not going to be here. There's a few things we can, again, there's a lot of things we can do at once. I can only explain one thing at a time. So now we've reduced this indigo region to just two cells. This is a formation you'll see a lot, which is just two cells next to each other. It eliminates from the rest of the column because the star will be in that column, but it also eliminates from the two to the left and the two to the right. Oops, I did not mean to place a star there, because wherever the star is, these touch it. It touches the entire region. Right, now I'm seeing the top row can only place a star in brown. So wherever wherever the top row places a star, it will be in brown, meaning the rest of brown can't have another star in it. So no stars there. I'm seeing a few things, but is there like a super obvious thing? Okay, we can come back to doing formations here. So red, this cell touches the entirety of red, so that's not going to be in. We have blue and yellow lining up. You can see to the right of this line. That's exposed by this not being a star anymore from red. And so the rest, if you aren't blue or yellow in the right two columns, you're not a star. All right. This row has an interesting one, and this is something the hints don't point out unless they've improved the hints, which is in this row, we have two places for a star left. And you'll notice that this cell here and this cell here touch both of them. So those are not going to be in. So we can eliminate that one. Now brown is down to these two, so that eliminates from here. And now in this row, there's only one place, which is here. So we have to place a star for the row right there. And that's also our star in indigo. We have red and brown lining up now, so the rest of these are not in. And now we have green and orange lining up, so the rest of these aren't in. You could just see this row had one place as well. And now we just plonk the remainder of the stars based on eliminations. All right. I don't think that was a plonker. I think in another day that could have been a hard. So the hard's probably just harder today. But yeah, just a lot of the two regions line up thing and then a couple formations. So that's definitely not a plonker though. All right. Let's do the hard. It's called Venus. All right, we've got this formation. This one takes out of here. Bottom row is going to be in that dark orange. This takes out of here. This blue. All right. Is there anything else obvious? Okay. Not that I'm seeing. I'm looking for lineups right now, and I'm not seeing them. Okay. Like I'd like to eliminate from here so that blue and orange line up, but I'm not actually seeing that. Over here, this is like an almost lineup as well. All right, I gotta look for something else. I'm gonna carefully scan each column and each row just to see if I might have missed something important. If it is, I don't see it. This row. Ah, this row. Oh, whoops. This row here has to give it to brown. That's huge. So the rest of brown's not in. And this formation here takes out of these two as well. So now, yeah, brown and indigo line up. Doesn't seem important anymore, but this column is either these two yellows or this dark orange. I don't see that being meaningful. This dark orange has a pretty big cascade, right? This star would put this star, which would put this star, which would put this star. Like we could analyze that cascade and see if there's anything that overlaps with putting a star in yellow over here. But that's kind of a last resort thing. Let's see if we can find something more straightforward. I feel like this blue hugging this gray, it feels like there should be something we can do. Okay, actually, with this out, this gray, this formation here, might be easier to see if I highlight it. It touches this one, right? It sees this guy here. So I don't think that's helpful, is it? This row is either in gray or this one yellow right here. This yellow has the same cascade because it forces that orange. So I'm guessing that cascade is the answer because it's such a big cascade, but let's just circle that just to have it. So yeah, like we can eliminate this one, right? Because, oh no, we can't, sorry. We can eliminate this one. And I don't know if there's an and. But the reason for that is we either, in this row, we either have a star here or we have a star here. And either way, this spray gets eliminated because the star here cascades around and forces a star here. So this eliminates from here, and any of these stars eliminate from there. So we could technically perform that elimination. But anyway, I'm trying to just explore the puzzle. This isn't necessarily something I'd want to use, but I also don't think it's helpful. Is really the big thing. All right. Does this do more than what I highlighted? Often tracing something like this can be useful in terms of it breaks things because it does so much that it could break something. All of these are gone. Yeah, I don't know. All right, let's not stop highlighting that. Let's find something else to do. This row is either these two or this one. Okay, this we can do. This is very straightforward. I mean, really, it's just the same as any formation. So in this row, there's a star here, here, or here. This one sees all of them. It sees this through the region and this through touching. So that's not in. And so now these do line up. That's extremely useful. Okay. And in fact, was that? I don't know. I think we had to find the brown thing first. Anyway, these line up, and so we don't need stars here. Or we can't have stars there. These formation, not helpful anymore. Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to do that. This formation takes out from here for what it's worth. Okay, so eliminating these, what did that do for me? Interesting. So if the star was in one of these two, that lines up with gray. It eliminates from all of these greens, placing a star here. That's incompatible, putting a star here. No, I don't think that's helpful. What else did this do? These dark oranges, this green. I must be missing something. We have a star here or here in this row. Only one of these two. Is there anything in common between those? I really don't see. I mean, excluding from yellow. Sorry. Here or here. I'm looking at the consequence of none of these yellows up here being a star. Um, I mean, okay, so these two. So this is the same thing, right? That we just did otherwise. So what cells see both of these, right? It's going to probably be something in this column. It's these two yellows. These two yellows see this through the column and this through being the same region. So wherever the star ends up, these two aren't in. So we can X those out. Is there more to it? The problem is this doesn't have a big effect other than on its column. This, yeah, okay. So I'm not seeing more with that. This row's still down to these two and this one. Wow, why am I struggling on this so much? I'm thinking about, right now what I'm thinking about, I should express it, is I wonder if indigo, I wonder if indigo and green line up, right? So either indigo and green line up, which would eliminate from here and these three, or we have a star here, which puts a star there. That's kind of where I saw in my head. And it puts a star here as well. It actually does. Ooh, that actually doesn't work. Okay, how do I express this better? There's probably something simpler to see here. A star here puts a star there. Okay. So what do I... There's probably a better way to express this, but a star here puts a star here, right? Basically, if indigo and red line up, then these two are out, along with others. But what's important is these two are out. And if you look at this column, that forces a star here. But if you remember, a star here puts a star here. So basically, there would be nowhere to put a star in brown. So it's incompatible. Now, I don't know if there's like a simpler way to see that. That just feels like kind of a look ahead, but it does mean that this can't be a star, because it puts a star there, which forces this column to put a star there, but it forces this column to put a star there, and they touch. So I don't know a better way to put that. But that does mean that indigo and green line up, getting rid of these. It's not the result I wanted, but it does. I'll do some eliminations. One of these three. Okay, there's got to be something with these eliminations that helped. These yellows. Jeez. Okay, this is a toughie. I'm probably missing something. Always am. We could do the same thing. So, okay, so now this green is a little bit more powerful, so maybe we can do the same thing. So we either have this green and this gray lining up, which would eliminate from these guys. So either green and gray line up, or the other option is we have a star here. That's the only place green can escape from these two columns. And a green here, I noticed a star here. I noticed put a star here. A star here puts a star here, which is actually going to force. So this is out. That's going to force a star into these two. So these are out, which places a star there. So it is exactly what I thought. So had I just followed through with placing those stars, my instinct was right that that's a star. But let me explain what I mean. No, is it? Sorry. No, I completely misinterpreted that because I stopped thinking about it. It eliminates this guy, which is for better or for worse, which isn't as nice. But I guess my point is either these greens line up. The green or in the gray, either they line up, taking out of this yellow, or we have a star here, which puts a star there, which puts a star there, which takes out of here, which forces this column to put in one of these two, which eliminates from all of the yellows other than those two. So this can't ever be in. which I'm going to use because I'm a little desperate. I wish I had. Oh, you know what? Orange. This is what we need. Red and orange line up now. I completely missed that. That happened after I found that indigo and green lined up. So it's kind of the next major step is that makes these two line up. So these are out, and that places this and this and this and this, which I saw earlier in the gray. Okay. Um, Yellow's one of those two. Same for the column. Oh, but one of these two takes out of there. So that's a star. Oh, so it was only for the row. One of these two takes out of here. So that's a star, that's a star, that's a star, and we're done. Okay. This is one of those I want to do again because I did a whole lot of look aheads. And I'm kind of curious if I can make the solve path a little cleaner. So I will do a second solve of it in a incognito. Which let me know if you like kind of enjoy the sort of second like reduced solve that I sometimes do. I'm never sure if people like actually watch it or like to watch it, but I feel like it's helpful. So let's just capture that. All right. We'll just play it again. I wish there was just a play again button, but anyway, so clearly we want to do the formations. So we'll do that formation. This takes out of here, which we saw. This takes out of here. I think the key thing. Okay, so we did. Oh yeah, this bottom row takes out of all those, and so now brown is going to take out of those. Okay, actually, sorry. Brown's one of those two, which takes out of those two, and all of the rest of brown. So once we have that, now we have this situation in this column. So I do think that this spot felt important to get rid of this guy. But I do wonder if I can just do, okay, I think probably what I was seeing is just the top 4 rows. I don't have my pen tool in incognito. I should, here, I wonder if I can just page marker, details, allow an incognito. Allow an incognito, okay. Sorry. There we go. Now I have it. Oh, that's the wrong one. Sorry. Let me go back to here. All right. Cool. Now I have it. It's these 4 rows. Okay. That's so much easier. Shoot. Okay. Well, at least I found it now. So above this line we have 4, but I can identify 4 regions. We have the indigo region, the green region, the orange region, and the red region. And so as a result, the yellow doesn't get to put any in those. And that's huge because this column now has to place. And this does that cascade that I was so convinced was correct, which it was. Once we have that cascade, these two line up. That takes out of these two. So orange and blue line up. That places this star. This takes out of those two, which places that star and that star. And this column and this region. All right, so no look aheads. I think my look ahead just kept poking at the fact that the top 4 regions, the top 4 rows had 4 regions. I wish I'd seen that earlier in my first solve, but there you go. So this is like the correct way to solve it, basically the correct like or reduced logical way to solve it. But I feel like my last solve was a good way to say, hey, if you're stuck, like these are the things to look at. Find powerful cells and investigate. Anyway, often these puzzles don't need crazy look aheads like that. Generally, they don't. I can't actually think of any that have needed crazy look aheads like that, but it can help you find stuff in the puzzle. All right, cool. Well, how'd you do?